All right, you guys know I've been talking a lot about Jameis. Big fan of Jameis. Thought he would do really, really well when he got inserted as the Browns starting quarterback. All right, so we're going to break down Jameis this weekend. It's not just because of Jameis and the fact that I like him and they won the football game, but there's a lot of really good teaching stuff in this tape too, which is really what I look for every week. I know a lot of people just like, hey, break down my team, break down my team. But to me, it's not only breaking down quarterback play or a game in the week. It's really about teaching different aspects of what go on. Okay, so this first one here, really just, kind of showing good play design here. We're going to come up over the top. We're going to clear out this outside. We're going to run the deep over here, and then we've got a guy going to the flat. So we're creating that high-low over here off of play action. So always making sure that we've got good quality concepts with answers over to this side. All right, and then a beautiful throw here by Jameis as he works up in the pocket. It's another thing that I like, right, is I like to see quarterbacks climb the pocket. So on these deep 7-step drops, what we know is where we set as a quarterback is where the defensive ends set their course. So once you stop as a quarterback, they're going to try to stop and set that edge. And so as a quarterback, we're trying to set the edge and then step up. Set the edge. Okay, now the defensive ends are going there. Now we disappear and we help our tackles out by climbing the pocket. So Jameis sets the point right there. Okay, what are they doing? They're attacking the point. Now what does Jameis do? He walks up. He walks up. We force that defensive tackle, right? If he stays right here, this defensive tackle may hit him. He steps up, he climbs the pocket. It helps him get away from those defensive ends, and it helps him attack his throw. Notice his feet, because he's climbing the pocket, his feet are aimed where he wants to throw the football, which is going to make him more accurate, and is a beautiful throw into tight coverage. Okay, another part of it is feel for the game. Feel for the game. Now, this is one of the issues that the Ravens defense has been having, is not really sure what they're doing on some of these plays. So we've got 3 receivers over here to this side. You would think that you would at least have another underneath defender over here because you've got all these bodies that are inside the box or to the backside. So Jameis recognizes this, and right off the bat, he's like, you guys are out of position. You guys don't have a guy right here. So a big part of playing the position is feeling what the defense is doing, understanding based on the play that you have, can they cover it, and then taking advantage of it when they can't. Right? He rushed this a little bit because he was surprised that they didn't cover it, and so that's why the ball goes low, because technique-wise, this is what quarterbacks do, right? We rush it. So when we rush it, what happens? When we rush, we don't fully get into our back foot, so we keep our weight up front. When our weight is up front, we don't fully transfer our weight, and the ball often dies into the ground. So right here, that's what happens. Great recognition, getting the ball out. We get the completion in the first down. Ball is just a little bit low because we want to stay in timing. We want to force ourselves into our back foot so we can make an accurate throw. But I love the recognition. It's a huge part of when you watch the best quarterbacks in the league, they recognize stuff, they feel stuff, they see stuff before the snap, and so they're prepared and ready to take advantage of it after the snap. All right, so here's another one. We talk about pacing our drop, making sure that our drop connects to the route. So what the Browns are going to run here is what I call pylon. Okay, so it's a pylon corner, it's a flat corner, and then a flat here. Okay, so we're going to read the outside defender first. If he hesitates, we're going to try to get the big one over the top. If he runs, then we're going to read this high-low defender here between the deep out and the flat. Okay, so read it through with me right here. We're reading the corner. Okay, the corners just keep getting depth, keep getting depth, keep getting depth. Okay, so once that happens, now I'm going to read the flat defender. Flat defender is falling deep. You see him open. He's dropping. He's only 5 yards away from the corner route, where he's 10 yards away from the flat route. So this read should really be going to the flat. Now, this is a great throw by Jameis. He recognizes the defender out there, and it's what I call a corner hole shot. So the corner hole shot is something that's hit in this hole right here between an outside defender and an inside defender. Okay, so that's what I call a corner hole shot. So it's a driven corner route instead of throwing the ball up and over outside the numbers. So it's a corner hole shot. He recognizes that guy there and he drives this throw. But the biggest thing to me is I want you to watch that Jameis is already set right here. Okay, so once we get set, we want to throw it. Okay, so once he's set here, he's not reading that deep throw anymore. He's ready to make the decision and get the ball out to the corner route. If he takes a little bit longer here on his drop, a little bit better pace on his drop to see this guy get out of there and then get his eyes back here to this guy, he's going to make a better decision right here. This is one of the flaws I see all around the league, especially with guys playing a lot of shotgun, is they're too quick into their drop where they're not fully allowing this to take place and make the right read. So he gets away with it here because it's a great throw on that back shoulder in the hole, but this is almost danger right here, and it's a lot because of the pacing and timing of his drop where we want to be back and set, and we want to make sure we can see this guy before we have to throw it. And that guy's already given us a decision, so we can make quality decisions. Love this read right here. Okay, so this can be a tough read for a quarterback. Okay, so we're going to run curl, curl, flat. All right, so really when we have this, what we're trying to do is read outside first. We're going to read the curl flat first because that's where we get the true high-low and conflict player in terms of the flat player over here. And we're hoping that this inside defender gets hung up with the inside receiver because that guy's going to his area. So we get an isolation on the outside. But every once in a while, what will happen is that inside defender will keep pushing and push through to be able to take the outside curl. Okay, so Roquan Smith here keeps pushing. See that? He keeps pushing over there, and he pushes past the number 3 receiver, and he's in position to take away the curl. So great read by Jameis, okay, that this guy widened. I want to take the outside curl, but then this defender pushes outside, replace back into his responsibility, and get the next guy. Great job, great read. Okay, you guys know how I feel about this kind of stuff is don't chip your tight end. Don't chip your tight end. When I need my tight end to get out here to the flat and get outside the numbers to pull this defender outside so my quarterback can read it, don't chip your tight end when you need him in the flat. So he chips. Now look, this curl is coming open right here, but look where my tight end is. My tight end is not stretching this outside defender where I feel comfortable being able to make that throw. If this guy went to the flat right now and he's outside the numbers, now what? He's either wide open or we've pulled this defender outside the numbers and now we've got a better shot timing-wise to possibly hit the outside curl. And then same thing, right? If that guy pushes through, we're still going to work to the inside like Jameis does, but we're not helping ourselves by doing this unwarranted chip again, right? I need that player in the route. I need him in that route concept. So I can't waste time with him inside or I don't give the quarterback the read that I want, and now I make everything harder for him. I understand we want help with protection, but it's not more important than the concept. You're putting your quarterback in a bad spot by not giving him the underneath flare control, check down underneath to help the big picture concept behind it. I mean, really well done right here. Okay, so we're trying to get a little rub right here. Against man coverage, we're going to try to get the rub right here. So watch him try to set it. Boom. Nice job here by the Ravens to just come up and squeeze it and run through it. I don't have it. Look at Jameis. Great job. He's looking over here to the left. Oh, I don't have it? Look at that quick reset. That's one thing that I love. He's set. Now he pops back. He pops back as his feet are going back to the other side. He resets into his back foot, so he's loaded up again. And boom, look how quickly, because he does that, back, loaded up, no wasted movement, works back to his number 3 on the other side. Bang, ball's out of his hands. Well done with this progression and just as well done with this technique. Set, reset, balance, make the second level throw. All right. Can't do it, Jameis. Can't do it. All right, so this, and I've been raving about him, and this is what I will continue to say. All the things that he does good on a football field is why he belongs as a starter in the National Football League. The reason he's not a starter in the National Football League is because of plays like this. And at some point, he's got to be able to break this habit. Okay, so we're coming over here on a naked bootleg. Okay, this guy's going to the flat, this guy's going to the corner, and this guy's running the cross. Okay, right here, you have to know, do I have a shot at this play or not? Okay, do you have a shot? You don't. It's done. Play's over, okay? Now, we can look at this and, okay, maybe this guy's breaking and you think you can throw this up over the top. Okay, maybe. Sometimes you got to go make a play. But this is what you can't do. Right here, I don't know what we're looking at here, and I don't know what we're throwing into right here. There is nothing at this point that is open on any of these guys. You're not throwing it through two defenders. You're not throwing it over this guy on the sideline, and you're definitely not beating the corner or safety in the end zone on that throw. Throw the ball away. This is where Jameis gets himself in trouble, right? This should have been intercepted right here, without a doubt, right? He got lucky right here, and this is what he can't do. This is what has cost him the opportunity the last couple of years, in my opinion, to be a starter in the league, because everything else that you're going to see on this tape says he belongs as a starter. Now we can say, okay, this guy starts to slide that way, right? He does. Receiver starts to slide that way. And then on the throw, what's he do? He goes back the other direction. So you can say, if he slides this way, maybe it's I get it. But the play is over. It's done. It's covered. Throw the ball away and live for another down. All right, again, teaching tape. To me, so much of this stuff is about teaching tape. All right, so great job by Jameis. This guy hits it off the edge. They're going to run a little what I call dart, a little tight end screen over to this side. Okay, for all you young quarterbacks out there and coaches that are teaching this, what I always say is when you have a hot situation or when you're throwing a screen, do not stop your feet as a quarterback and set to throw. Okay, so I'm going to show you. As Jameis comes here, what's he do? Right there, you see him set his feet. What does Kyle Hamilton do? Especially when you know you've got a really good player. What's Kyle Hamilton do? As soon as he sets his feet, Kyle Hamilton slows down and understands that this ball can only come from one spot. This ball is going to be attached to his right arm, and because he stopped his feet, there is only one line and path that I can make to throw this football. Right? Kyle understands that. I know that as a quarterback. So as I do this, what's Kyle do? I don't know if he touches this or not, but he knows exactly where I'm throwing it from. So he slows, gets his hands up, and forces an errant pass right here. Okay, so what should you do? What I would want Jameis to do right here is I would want him to keep fading back. Now, what I like to do on this is I like to actually even peek down the field for a second. So it's almost like I turn my back to Kyle Hamilton for just a second, and I'm looking down the field. So he thinks he's going to come and hit me because I'm a free hitter. He thinks he's going to hit me because I don't know he's coming and I don't know he's hot, and he's going to barrel on me to try to hit me. And then at the last second, I am going to peek, and then as I continue to fade away, I am going to throw a quick little screen pass out here to David Njoku for a big play. But I am going to fool him with my body. I am going to change the throwing spot for him so he does not know where the ball is going to come from. Didn't stop my feet, so I can continue to fade back. He does not know where the ball's coming from, so he can't really stop and set a line to get his hands up and knock it down. You got a hot throw it fading away, quarterbacks. Give the defensive linemen something to have to shoot for, something to have to chase after in your body so they can't just stop, jump up, and bat these balls down. Okay, here's another one. Okay, he's coming over here to the right-hand side. Quick out. Hook right here. Cross. In. Watch him process the information. He's going to the out. Doesn't have it because this guy's there. Going to the stick, doesn't like it because there's a guy there. Okay, now he's working backside. All the way back here to this deep curl that's coming. He's reset himself. You see he's lined up perfectly. Boom. He's going to make that throw on the second level. Gets knocked down there at the last second. But I love the process in the feet. Feet and eyes. Feet and eyes. Feet and eyes. Lined up together. So he's set to be accurate with that second level throw on the backside. I also love the depth of those different things. So we've got short on the right. We get a little deeper to the middle and even deeper on the backside. So we give our quarterback a chance to truly read the front side, be on time. Read the middle, be on time. Read the backside, be on time. So if we're going to do pure progression stuff, I like at least the fact that there's different depths on that throw so I can actually work back and feel like I've got a chance as I get to the backside. All right, here's another miss by Jameis, okay? And another great teaching point for quarterbacks, okay? So we're going to run a curl flat here. And then we're going to run a quick cross by this guy. What I always like to tell my quarterbacks is you have to figure out which side of the ball you're throwing the concept that you're throwing, okay? So is it a front side throw or is it a backside throw? Why is that important, Kurt? Because I need my eyes to be reading where I'm going to throw the football. I want my feet to be ahead of where I'm throwing the football. So I need to know where I'm planning on throwing a football if I'm going to throw it. Because if I'm throwing it front side, then I simply need to know what everybody is doing front side. If I'm throwing it backside, then I better know what I'm seeing backside so I can make the decision. Jameis got into trouble on a couple of these throws because he didn't make that decision ahead of time. So I'm never really going to throw this cross route to the front side. I'm not. Like it happens too fast. There's not really a window. It's not really a part of the play. It's more backside throw against man-to-man coverage. If I get it, it's not a front side throw. So if I'm reading front side, it should be curl flat to the front side. If I'm reading backside, then I could have the cross involved. Why is that important? Because I want you to watch Jameis, and his eyes and his feet are reading through to the front side, but he's going to try to throw this to the backside. Right? What's he do? He misses. Why does he miss? Because his feet and his eyes never get back there. So what do you do here, Kirk? I'll do one of two things. What I'm going to do is if I have one of these routes, crosses, overs, what I call an influence post going to the backside, and I think I have man-to-man coverage, what I'm going to do on the snap is peek these defenders over here. I'm going to peek the deep defender to the left-hand side, whoever that is, and make sure he stays down. So if he stays down, I know I'm coming over the top to the cross or to the over. So where would my eyes and feet be? My eyes and feet will be backside. So I'll be set for this cross to come into me, and I'll be out in front of this with the throw. If I'm going to the front side and I'm going to read front side, then this is dead, and I'm reading the flat defender over here for the curl flat. Okay, so let's go back, read the backside first. What do? Everybody stays down. Everybody stays down. Nobody over here. Feet and eyes are already over there. Lay this ball up to your guy and let him go get it. Jameis is trying to drive this throw to him almost like it's a front side throw when it really needs to be a backside throw. So understand what kind of throw it is, where you're trying to read. Okay, now read to the front side. Okay, now I peek back here, whatever, they fell off, I don't like it. Get back to the front side with your read, and your front side read is just the two guys to the outside. Boom, throw your curl. There's your curl throw to the front side. If it's a front side throw, is it a backside throw? It all changes what you're doing with your body, what you're doing with your eyes, and your ability to be accurate and on time to all these different throws. Love it. Love it. Okay, the natural thing to do when we've got double slant called is so many quarterbacks want to take the inside slant. Okay, they want to take the inside slant. If there's any opportunity, I'm taking the inside slant. I'm a firm believer that whenever I get double slant, my thought process is hit the outside slant, hit the outside slant, hit the outside slant. You're throwing the outside slant unless there is just a happening where they drop the guy to the inside. Okay, so I'm always still going to look at the defender over there to see if they drop it or see if that defender widens right now to take away the outside slant. And I'll be ready to react to the inside one because I'm reading that player. But my mindset is take the outside slant. Don't be caught in the world where they are going to try to force me to throw this inside slant and there's going to be a guy sitting on my back and it's going to be a tough throw and I'm going to miss the throw. So here they bring pressure. Now bringing pressure is one time that I actually like to hit the inside slant. So I'd catch it, I'd be ready, and I'd try to pop it on this guy right here. But don't force the issue because the outside slant is 99% of the time the easier throw and the right throw. Okay, so right here, he could have, if he was ready, taken that inside slant. But look what happens on the inside slant. Like if I throw it right here, this guy's coming screaming down and in a position to just smack that guy. The easy one, the easier throw, right? The easier thing in terms of timing is the outside one. Boom, go get it, right? Don't try to force it. You're not ready. React to the inside. Boom. Get to the backside. Go get your outside slant. Beautifully done. Could show you tape every week of quarterbacks jamming it into the inside guy. There's a guy on their back. Yes, they beat them to the inside by a half a step, but the outside slant is just easy and walking free for an easy completion. And guys are trying to jam it in, jam it in, jam it in. Yes, it's an inside-out read with the mindset being, I'm throwing the outside one. I'm throwing the outside one unless they just happen to drop whatever is going on inside. Okay, so again, another teaching point right here. There's a lot of teams in this league that are going to do this, and they're going to drop into what we call 3-weak. So they're going to drop the safety into the weak side, put the other safety in the middle of the field, and they're going to play cover 3. So that's 1 guy underneath, 2 guys underneath, 3 guys underneath, 4 guys underneath. But what you're going to notice when this safety drops in from a high position is that it's very easy to kind of negotiate where you want him to go. He's dropping down so high that he's oftentimes trying to read your eyes and you can work him. And then what happens when they know that this safety's dropping in over here is you're going to watch these defenders to the front side get a lot more, push a lot more to the strong side because they know they've got help dropping in weak. All right, so just watch how this plays out, right? See Roquan Smith? See how much he moves out here? He doesn't do that on any of their other cover 3s, but he's saying, I'm going to pass anything else off in here to the backside safety who's going to steal that. But I want you to watch Jameis's eyes. If he uses his eyes, what's his safety do? Safety goes screaming inside here. So when I see this coverage, so what Jameis has here is he basically has double curls. So deep curl, guy over the ball, flat, flat. Okay, so it's double curls. So what I'm going to do on this coverage is I already know that I have an advantage strong side, right? I already know that I have 3-on-2 over here to this side. I really only have 2-on-2 to this side, right? This guy underneath here and the safety to be able to take the curl. But what I'm going to do on the snap is I'm going to stare right at this safety. I know what I'm getting. As soon as he's coming down, I'm staring right at him. I'm going to make him make a decision, okay? So if he makes a decision to go front side, then I know I'm golden backside, 2-on-1 off of this guy. If he makes a decision to stay here, and because I'm looking at him, he stays to the backside, now I can easily progress back to the front side, and I can almost read it backwards if I want. Once I get him held there, I'm going to get my eyes right back to this defender on the inside. If he's pushed through, I might hit that guy right over the ball. If not, I could just come right back and read that curl flat to the front side. But I'm going to eye this backside safety and see if he makes it easier on me, right? Because what's easier on me is when he does that. When he starts to push strong, it's easier on me because I don't have to worry about possibly negotiating those 2 defenders over there. I know exactly what I have and where the easier throw is, and it's the backside curl right there, right? So you see it? See how he pushes over? So they do a nice job of pushing everybody through. Now, we could take the flat over to this side because that guy got depth, but push through, push through. There's the throw, but we got to know what that backside safety is doing when he's dropping in from a high position. Not going to do the same thing if he's down. If he's already down here in a low position, he's not going to be able to be negotiated as much. But because he's in all that space back there, they have a tendency to play more like a safety and read the quarterback's eyes, and now we can manipulate them and find some kind of throw. All right. Hots, right? It's what I talk about every week. We got to know our issues. We got to know what's going on here, okay? So this particular look, Ravens have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys up. Really, the Browns have 6 guys protecting. So they have their 5 offensive linemen in their back. They're not really checking this guy. Now, he might block if they bring the 7th guy over to this side. He might block that guy off the edge. Okay, we can live with that. So we've got those 7 guys. He's only responsible for the guy on the outside edge. And then our other 6 have the other 6. So with that being the case, okay, unless we change this protection and we're telling David Njoku to block the defensive end, which I don't think they're going to ever do, okay, now Jameis has to understand who he's responsible for. So A, is he responsible for this guy? If this guy comes, is David Njoku blocking him, or do I have to throw hot off of him? Okay, and by the same token, what about this guy here? If he comes, because I got 6 guys up on the line of scrimmage, am I responsible for him? What we used to do when I was playing was, if we had 6 guys in the box right here, I considered this circled guy a safety. So if it was a safety and he came, we would run a side adjustment because he's coming from the 1 receiver side, right? Single receiver over here. So if this safety came over here, we can't block him. We've already got 6. He's the 7th guy. He's the 4th guy weak. We can't block him over there. So we had to run a side adjust. Side adjust could be a quick out. Could be a slam. Could be a hitch. Could be a go. I don't know. But whatever you were doing on your normal route, you're not doing anymore because you're eyeing the safety. And if he comes, you're adjusting your route. Okay? So that's what we would do. Because what happens is these teams are teaching these guys to scan. So they're saying, okay, there's 7 guys up. They're only going to bring 6 of them. So back, I want you to step up to your responsibility. And if he doesn't come, I want you to come back here and get Kyle Hamilton. All right? We've seen it week after week after week. You can't do it. The scan is killing people. Okay? Because his job has to be to step up in this A gap to get this guy. Okay? And then once that guy doesn't come, you're telling him he's got to get over here to get this screaming Kyle Hamilton off the edge. Can't do it. He steps up. Oh, there he comes. Can't see it all. Can't block it all. So we're in trouble here. Okay? So that's the one way you can do it. The other way that you can do it is you can slide all your guys backside if you wanted, but it's still hard, right? If we're going to try to slide all these guys backside, now the back is going to be caught on a defensive end here, and we're going to be in trouble. So what we got to do is we got to understand our extra guys. Jameis, you're hot here. Jameis, you're sight and adjust here. Know your protections, understand what's possible, and coaches, quit asking these guys to scan because it's killing you. And I know it works sometimes. When nobody's walked up, it's much easier and it works. But teams are starting to realize, hey, if we bring the Sam and the Will, they're scanning, they're in trouble. So we've got to build in these hots and side adjusts so this stuff doesn't happen, right? This stuff can't happen to us. We can't continually have negative play after negative play, possible fumbles, possible turnovers because we're oblivious to what our responsibilities are, or because coaches, we're not giving our quarterback a true answer that he can take with this play, right? And quarterbacks not knowing who's hot because they're just thinking, hey, coach has said we're going to pick everything up. Back's going to scan. He's going to pick up that 6th, 7th guy no matter where he comes from. We're good, so we're not thinking about it, and bang, we're getting hit in the back. We're turning the football over, and we're losing games. Another great recognition, right? So what are they doing here? Same thing we talked about before. They're dropping this safety down late. when they drop that safety down late, what did we say? These guys are overplaying to the front side and trying to play a true cover 3 zone and playing through to their areas. Okay, so what happens? Overruns it, leaves this guy available because of the drop. Great recognition by Jameis again. Boom, replace it and take it. Okay, the other thing, and again, it's a quick throw, so it makes it harder. But the same principle could apply if I had enough time. Come back and peek the safety. They've got a slant flat back here, which is very similar to that curl flat, where I can work that defender underneath backside if I wanted to, if that safety's out of position. I would do exactly what Jameis is doing here because I can't really get this read fast enough to hit a quick slant on that side. So take your stick right there, but watch the safety on this as he comes running down, right? He comes running down and reads it. We could have that slant to the backside on this coverage as well if we felt that push a little bit quicker with the safety. Like I said, don't necessarily recommend it. I'd recommend it more on the deeper throws, but you see how the principle plays out once again. Okay. Great job here. Okay, so we're going to go down here, running in, start in here. We're going to come out with the corner. Then we're going to have our outside guy run a pivot. So trying to get man-to-man coverage, trying to work this outside area of the field. Nice recognition there by Jameis, seeing man-to-man. Now, I think this receiver's a little bit quick, okay, on his corner route. He only gets to about 8 yards when he runs his corner route, so he catches Jameis, I think, a little bit quick on this. But one of the rules of thumb, receivers, right, is if you're even, you're leaving. Okay, so if you get even or over the top of a defender, you're leaving. And what we mean by that is take a touchdown angle. Take a high angle right here and go get yourself a touchdown. You've beat the guy. The release pattern is beat the guy. You're up over the top. Don't get impatient. We get impatient here and take this really, really flat and short. And Jameis makes a nice throw and reaction to this. See how he's got to drive this throw a little bit more. You see when he's throwing it, he's got to rip this one a little bit more to get it in before the sideline. This should be a touchdown right here. This is a touchdown play right here. Second, set your depth, get to your 10 to 12 yards, set the high angle if nobody is up over the top, and go get yourself a touchdown. Another nice play, another nice reaction, and another nice throw down the field. Chunk throws is the difference maker for great quarterbacks in this league and good offenses in this league. Okay? So here's what I hate, right? I talk about it every single week. Empty set or a 5 out, right? So I call it empty, but that simply means it's a 5-man protection because this guy's releasing to the flat right now. I hate sliding to the 3 receiver side. Okay? Go to the 3 receiver side. What normally happens is all it takes is 1 back here, and then it's so much easier for 1 guy to drop down and cover this backside because we don't always have 2 guys running quick routes. If we've got 2 guys running quick routes, as I always say, it's a little bit better back here, but it's the easier protection, right? Because what teams are doing when you get this look is they're going to bring this backside guy more often. Why, Kurt? Why would they bring that guy more often? Because they're assuming that this guy has him in protection. So if I bring that backer, I keep the back in a 6-man protection, and now it's 1 less guy to cover on the outside, and I get more one-on-ones and all that stuff up front. So I know I can try to keep the back in if I bring this backside guy a lot. So now, if we know that, and we know that's the preference of teams, let's block him with the offensive line anyway, so we're not throwing hot nearly as much, but we're also not putting ourselves in a bind because our hots are over here to the 3 receiver side where we usually have more options. Okay, so Cleveland slides to the 3 receiver side. Boom, I got a guy coming free, once again, right on me, knocks it down. Now, we were in pretty good shape here because, you know, we're going to cover this unless these guys are able to fall off and combo this, but we're going to get this here because they're trying to run this guy all the way out to cover it. They're trying to disguise it. But what do we see? We see that we've got better options. 1, 2 options over to this side if they bring pressure from that side. Okay, so it's tougher to cover 2. So if one guy's dropping down and has to cover both of those guys on the front side, it's hard to do, and it puts us in an advantage. when they do it this way, they're in a better position to be able to cover the hots here. Okay? Now, what am I going to tell you? Jameis, what did I say earlier? If you're hot, don't stop and set and throw it. Okay, so it was just like before. Now, maybe he didn't know he was hot and was setting to throw this because he's setting to throw a slant flat there. But you got to recognize when you're hot. Fade away. Fade away. Make this guy continue to come to me and then negotiate the throw and make this throw. When you stop, what does Kyle Van Noy do? Really good player. You stop, I stop. You throw, I attack your arm, and I knock this football down and almost intercept it for 6. Fade. Fade. You're hot. Fade. Fade away and learn how to make these throws fading away. Make the throws with your body. Have touch. Get it over those defensive ends and quit letting them knock these things down because you set and you show them where the football is going to be and you're saying, I'm throwing it from here. Attack this spot and you're going to knock it down. And they miss an opportunity right there for a possible big play, right? He gets this off to his back and negotiates this. Man, can this guy maybe turn the corner and get up on that safety? Could be a huge play. And the difference is falling away to throw the football. Okay, talked about this the other day. Okay, we talked about the combo play. So we've talked about a couple times slant, flat, combo. Okay, if you watched my teaching tape the other day, okay, go back and watch it again or listen up here. Okay, so this route, what we really want is we're going to read the flat defender over here. And our first thought is always slant. We like the slant. It's the bigger play is the slant. We want to be able to hit that. Remember, Jerry Rice caught a bunch of these and took it to the house. So we really want to hit the slant when everything is equal. And we're going to read whoever the defender is here that's got to cover the hook to the flat area of the field. In this case, it's going to be the safety that's dropping down. But we need to see the picture pre-snap. So the pre-snap picture is press on the outside, soft on the inside. And not just soft, it's the safety coming down from a deep position in which he's not in a great spot to cover the flat. So he's got a long distance to go. But the other thing is, because I'm pressed, guy's going to try to get hands on me and slow me down. And because this guy's screaming down, quite often that safety gets right in the way of the slant and creates interference there, sometimes runs into our slant, knocks our slant off of its route, and it leads to a bad play. So when I get pressed on the outside and a soft guy on the inside, I'm going to think flat first, think flat first, think flat first. Now I'm still going to read this guy, but I'm thinking flat first. You take the flat right there, we're golden. Right there, there it is. What happens on the slant? Oh, he's coming down high, bang. So I'm trying to throw the slant. If I let the slant go right here, now we're getting an interception. We're getting banged because of it, but it's all because of the initial position of these guys. Okay? Understand the initial position. If this guy's off, okay, now I'm still going to read this defender here, but if that guy's off, now I'm not worried about being impeded and jammed here. So I'm going to read that defender, still ready for the slant, but I'm still basing it off of what his depth is. If he's deep, thinking flat first. If he's down tight, thinking slant first. If it's a press and an off position in the slot, I'm always going to think flat first in my mind. Even though I'm setting to the slant and reading it out, my mindset just in terms of what I'm thinking is going to happen flips from the perfect world. I think we've got another look at it coming up here. Oh, surprise, surprise. It's right here. Okay, so we're coming right back with it. Same thing. Slant, now the flat from the backfield. What's the look? Still got press on the outside, but where's the defender now that's covering the flat? Now he's down tight. Now he's down underneath 5 yards, right? Deeper than 5 yards like the last one. Now he's got a chance to impede the slant. Underneath 5 yards, now I'm thinking slant first, especially when I look at this guy. If he comes downhill even more, so if he comes down underneath 5 yards, I know he can't impede the slant anymore. There he comes. He comes chasing down. What do we got? We got the slant right behind it. I'd like a little better slant right here. There, get inside, push up to your depth and separate so you can stay wider and you can create more separation. But the read is completely different. The thought process is different because of the way they're playing both inside and out on this particular play. Love it. Love it. Okay, so we know we got it protected here. Do a nice job of picking this all up. And we've got double seam concept. Seam, seam, stop, stop. And they're going to run back to a cover 3. Run back to a cover 3. So if I recognize this, I'm trying to read the safety. Safety's coming over here, trying to get backside to this seam. As I get backside to that seam, I'm reading this defender right here. So he's going right here to throw the seam. And then he realizes this hook defender is going to chase the seam. So what do? We work right out through it to the stop on the outside. Love it. Love it. Love the read. Love the progression. Here, thinking seam. Quick hitch. Outside to the stop. Bang, bang, bang. Understanding the process. Understanding what I'm looking at. Getting from the safety to the hook defender, out to the stop, and hitting it all on time. Beautifully done there by Jameis. Here we go again, right? This is one everybody's talking about. This could have finished the game right here, right? This could have ended the game, for Cleveland right here before coming back and winning. Okay, and what is it? What did I tell you? Right, it is the same thing that we saw earlier. He's trying to hit this cross, but he's not convinced that it's a backside throw. So he's trying to get back and throw it right now and hit it as the guy's crossing instead of letting him set his route, read the backside. Everybody's down. Okay? Everybody's down. Buy some time. Okay? Buy some time. Everybody's down. Get your feet and eyes out here. And so once this guy goes, all you got to do is lay it out in front of him. Make it easy. You don't have to put it right on his numbers. Lay it out in front of him. Is what we're always looking for in blitz 0, but we're always looking for it in man when the other side stays down. Instead, his feet are off, right? Because you see his feet. His feet are here. He's trying to make this a front side throw and read it really quickly. Don't do it. Come back, buy time, even if you're going to throw this off balance because you know it's blitz 0, and lay this football out in front of him so he can run underneath it instead of trying to be perfect in this situation. Almost cost him this game. And it was something that I don't think he'll ever let happen again. And again, we've got the same play to the front side. So if you didn't want to make it a backside read, okay, you didn't like it, this guy fell off, get to your front side read, and now you're reading curl flat to the front side with your feet out there. Boom, you're taking the flat probably right now. Otherwise, there's your curl coming back behind it. But know which kind of throw it is so you can set your feet and eyes to make an accurate and correct throw. Okay, and here we go. Final play of the game. Okay, so this particular play is an in and a post. So it's a little bit different, but again, you want to see the backside. These guys are a little bit deeper now on the backside. So if it's coming and it's going to be one of these routes again, I need to see what's happening on the backside. There, okay? Now, you got to ask yourself, okay, did they come down enough to allow me to have it depending on the depth of those guys because they are chasing man once again. But now this guy sticks it because I think it's a little different route and he goes up over the top and a little bit higher, which is how I usually like this route. I like it to be more of a deep over influence as opposed to a short cross where somebody can fall off on it. But really well done getting depth here by Jameis. Knowing they're bringing pressure, get depth. Right? When they're bringing this extra pressure and bringing this blitz 0, get depth, quarterbacks. I call it retreat. Retreat, retreat, retreat until you know the receiver's into the top of his route where you can quick set and throw it. And a great job of reading this, right? They've tried to hit that cross numerous times. We stick it right here. He goes up over the top. Jameis does a nice job of seeing that angle. And why does he get to see that angle? Because he's not rushing the throw. He's not trying to make it a front side throw. He's given it time to develop, and now he's able to put it up over the top for the game winner. But there's a look at why I like Jameis so much and the way that he's able to process and see and the information that he can handle. Still room to grow. Still things he's got to do better. Can't take those chances with the football that he did, like the one down in the end zone. But you see the quality of play and the quality of thinking and the way he can play the game, not only with his physical skills, but with his mind as well.